Hey, good evening. Welcome to A Foreigner in the Philippines. It's getting about time for Beth and I to go back on our Invitro journey and take the next step. So I thought I would share what has been happening up to now and give you a kind of a bum's rush through what we've done. There are so many, we have so many subscribers now, so many new subscribers that a lot of you guys will probably not know anything about our plans. Now, for those first the bad news, for a lot of you, I'm 79 years old and my wife is 29. And yes, we know that there's a lot that don't agree with that, and we reserve the right to live our own lives. Terrific imposition on the world, that, isn't it, that we choose to do that. But anyway, because of that, we also had another challenge, and that was that years ago I had a vasectomy. And so when we met, this was all, sorry, I've got ants around the place today. So when we first met, we had to have a heart-to-heart talk and get everything out in the open so that we would know exactly what we were facing. Beth was adamant that she wanted a child, and you know what? I would like another chance to do it right, and so I was in quick agreement. So that meant, first of all, that we would have to do the vasectomy reversal. Well, we didn't have to do that, but that's what we decided. We decided that we would go with the reversal. And we found a doctor in Manila who did, we believe, a good job, and it was not too uncomfortable. Let me see, it cost around, I think, 140,000 pesos. So we went down there, we did that. It was a success. They found live sperm when they went in and did that, so to speak. But over a year later, we still haven't conceived. So we went to an in vitro clinic and we had tests done to try to find out what's going on. So what did that bring us? Well, we expect that we're going to have to pay in order to have an in vitro try. We expect that we're going to have to pay about 400,000 plus pesos. Okay, now in the Philippines that's a lot of money, of course, but when you compare what it would cost in Western countries, then it's a bargain. So we've gone there, we've had the first test, they've taken a sample of semen and they found that there are lackings in that semen. As I say, I'm 79. So I'm facing the reality here, and a lot of you guys out there who are interested in finding out what this is about will be facing the same challenges. So we're trying to be honest so that everybody learns from it, okay? Some of it is a little personal, but we'll get over that, okay? So with a sense of humor you can get over most things. So anyway, we went, they made suggestions. They said, well, we suggest that you take this pill or take that pill. No drugs. I'm really not into drugs. But we went back, I think, about a month or 6 weeks later, and we found that the numbers had not come up. In fact, in one particular case for me, the numbers had gone down. Very disappointing. But this is the kind of thing that if you're going in for this, you got to be ready for it, okay? So I'm telling you all of the good news and the bad news, okay? So they then made some suggestions. They made suggestions as to how much in the way of supplements we could take. There are supplements that you can take. As I say, we're not doing any drugs. We're doing what we hope are high quality, good supplements that we take. And I've taken a lot, believe me. At one point in the last 3 months, I'd been taking something like 5 or 6 different pills every day. It gets to be tiresome, I can tell you. But anyway, generally I feel that I've been improving. Now, moment of truth is going to come next week when we go back and we have some more tests. Meantime, with Beth, she had an ultrasound down there, and they made some recommendations to her. Stay off the coffee, which sometimes is difficult. Not so much rice, just off the stinky fish and stuff like that. So we both ended up becoming almost vegetarians. Okay, we can't brag or boast that we made it, but because we didn't. But it did mean that contrary to how she had been eating beforehand, Beth is now eating a much healthier diet, and so am I. But I'm quite used to it and was willing to go on that. Beth just didn't like vegetables. These are all problems that you may or may not have to deal with. You might have someone, both of you, who say, hey, vegetables, no problem, vegetables it is. But that can get pretty boring. Vegetables, I eat a huge bowl of vegetables like this at practically every meal. And it's only when we go out and go to a restaurant that I will cheat. But that's between you and me, okay? So what's the next thing that happened? I also had a test for prostate. I had an ultrasound on that, and yep, my age, there's some enlargement. Nothing, it was benign. There's nothing to worry about, but there's enlargement, and of course that carries with it its difficulties. Now, during that time, we did see in the hospital that we went to in Cebu, we saw a thing for laser treatment of an enlarged prostate. So we looked into that. We went and had tests, and we saw the doctor, and the doctor had was quite unusual actually. He said, why don't you just go home and just relax and don't get stressed out and do it that way. He said, we can go in and we can do this laser treatment, and he showed us some pictures and how it would be done and what would happen. And then when I started to say to him, at this point I was considering it, right? It's not hugely expensive. I think around 150,000 pesos. So it's not hugely expensive. It's if you're after a child, and this may increase your chances. But then he said, when I asked him, "What are there any side effects? You know, is there anything that what can go wrong?" Well, very little can go wrong. He said, but one thing that it does do is it makes you ejaculate back into the bladder. Now, without getting too graphic, I'm just trying to work out how on earth that would help you to have a child. So we knocked that on the head. Okay, I prefer to go it the outgoing method is how I prefer to do that. So we didn't do anything about that. He had some suggestions for what we could take and he prescribed a pill. I took a few, felt dizzy, quit on that pill. I'm not good on antibiotic type of pills, so I remember when I had a dog bite on Cebu, and part of the treatment was antibiotics, and boy, I felt dizzy the whole time that I was on that, and hated it, and was very, very happy to finish it. So we don't do that. What else? So that over, results of that to the and the remarks made by the surgeon who would have done that laser treatment, and we sent his remarks, and we sent them to the clinic. So now the clinic are waiting for us to go along there. Now, the best news that we could have would be, well, the best news we could have would be that Beth would do a pregnancy test and find out she's pregnant tomorrow. That would be the best news, wouldn't it? But that hasn't come. Got to face up to that. So we're looking at going there, and we'll have to do another semen test, which is a joy and extremely embarrassing. But anyway, we're going to do that. Now, once that happens, then there'll be a decision to make. If it is that it's deemed that the results of all of the supplements that I've been taking, exercise, change of lifestyle, eating more vegetables, all of that to do with diet and everything which will be personal to you if you're taking this, all of that will either have done the job or it won't. And I've had lots of letters from people who have done this and failed, and then later succeeded. One man wrote to me and said that he went and he had, I don't know whether he'd had the vasectomy, but I think he probably had. He went there and they had a look at his semen and did the tests on his semen, and he said that they told him all kinds of stuff about how wrong his semen was. The tails were going this way and they should have been going that way. Who knows exactly what happened, but he just decided that they would give up on that. So that he and his wife gave up on that. And then, lo and behold, God works in mysterious ways. 6 years later, they suddenly find that she's pregnant. And now they've got an adorable little boy. And so the stories are many. That one man who said that he'd had the vasectomy reversal, and then they'd gone in, and within months they were pregnant, or she was. I like to include, we men like to include ourselves in that, having had a small part in it, I guess. So it varies very much. I've had people that I've mentioned before, friends in the UK who couldn't seem to conceive, went for in vitro, had the in vitro procedure done 3 times and failed every time, gave up, adopted a little girl, and as soon as the adoption went through and the child was integrated into the family, into the home, and they were very, very happy, the woman got pregnant, and got pregnant 4 times. So an Irish lady, and having children was what came naturally in the end. So it depends on a lot of things. That's why we decided that we would go for the in vitro, the reversal, because who knows, there might be a chance that might still happen. So we'll go and we'll do the tests, and we'll find out what they have to say, and they will come through with those results fairly quickly. So we'll be keeping you in the loop on that for your interest. Boy, I gotta say, it's emotionally a roller coaster. We're trying. We've had lots of incredible supportive letters and a few that we just deleted. But we've had some telling us how apparently there are ways that you can do it, which will bring a boy, and there are ways that you can do it and it will bring a girl, and the 2 ways are different. So there's all kinds of information out here that people have shared with us. Thank you very much. And now I will end off and say that we've been blessed with all of the interest and the encouragement that we've had, and your prayers that we will indeed have our little child. And we hope so, and we pray. Believe me, that's at the top of our prayer list, and we hope that somebody's listening. So this is a foreigner in the Philippines. Thanks for being with me. Bye for now.